Evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really looking forward to this evening with Debbie. I met Debbie, years ago. Well, it must be years ago, because I've just said to her, you moved house about 2 years ago. And she said, no, it was 5 years ago now. So I must have known her a very long time. But that was through the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair in Wickham. But Debbie actually lives in Cornwall and used to travel down to Wickham for Sue Murray's Mind, Body, Spirit Fairs, which was marvellous. And somebody said to me, oh, you must go and see Debbie, but she was fully booked. So I saw her, but I didn't get a session there. But anyway, so I knew straight away from Mandy that told me about you, how wonderful, you know, you are. And then Dave, the honey man, Dave Norris. He came up to Cornwall and trained with you, didn't he?
He did, yes.
So lovely. I'm really grateful that you're doing this talk. I'll just do the introduction that we said on the event, just to remind people what this is about. So Debbie will chat about how she designed her clear, cleanse and balance system of 3 tuning forks and how she came to heal fully from ME. Debbie will also share her journey from a busy district nurse to creating Suara Sound Academy in 2011 and then teaching sound therapy worldwide. Debbie will also do a demonstration and offer a meditation. Some of what you may expect to feel: a calmness descends, feeling peaceful, breathing slower, mind chatter lessens or stops, feeling more together in oneself, shift in perception. The Om is like a nurturing cuddle to many, can be used for meditation to ease quiet time within, body and mind totally relaxed, great feeling of well-being and more control in your own life. So just a few very nice things to talk about. So yeah, love to know how you got into it, Debbie, from being the busy district nurse.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you all for joining us this evening. It's just such a pleasure to see so many of you. Positive living, isn't it? So, I mean, the name says it all, really. It's sort of finding these amazing tools to create positive living. For me, the sounds is my, what will I say, my passion, my dharma, my life and soul purpose, which I will talk about in a minute. But first of all, what I'd love you to do is if you could just take a moment and just sit in your chair and just get really, really comfortable. I'm just going to bring your awareness to the Om now. I'm only going to use a tuning fork. And I just wonder, can you hear that at all? Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact is we are all connected. And so I'm playing my Om tuning fork in my room whilst we are all here together. And the sound will travel through time and space, because there isn't actually time or space. It's just this beautiful matrix of connection. And that's what we're here. So I'm just going to invite you for a moment just to take a breath. You can just thumbs up that you're hearing this. Thank you, lovely. So just take a nice deep breath. This is the Om, the sound of creation, the sound we were born to, and the sound we go home to. Even Alexander in his book of Proof of Heaven said, whilst he was in a coma, that the closer he got to God, the louder the Om became. And that statement has stayed with me for many, many years since I first read it, because it's what I feel. It's just this unique primordial sound from our beginning to our ending on this life at this time. And then we go beyond, and we go beyond, and maybe we become the sound, part of that sound. So breathe that arm into the deep, deep depths of your belly. And then just let out a beautiful deep breath that is clearing the way, opening the experience. Breathing in the om and breathing out the om. And if your mind wanders, just come back to the sound and the word om. Allow a gentleness to descend. Maybe the sound feels, or you can hear it as a familiar sound. Maybe it's a feeling. As you come into your body, into your mind, allowing your spirit and your soul to be soothed. We're all together here. This beautiful unity consciousness of energy, frequency, vibration coming together. Curious. Maybe in some wonder. And so softly and gently, I invite you to come back to this space, this here and this now. All of us together, wherever we are, with this heart-based connection. Positive living. So thank you. It always amazes me, even being here, I feel you so much. The first time I taught my course online was last year, when obviously we went into stay at home, and I thought, how could it work? How can that work? But I know our lovely Denise, she came and trained with me, and it works. And you know, I've been meeting some of the people that I trained and they qualified, and I've actually been meeting them, and it flummoxes me that I haven't even met them in person before, because so much is the connection, heart to heart. Because, you know, the soul knows, the soul absolutely knows. And that is just the joy of being able to work with sound. You know, I specialize in tuning forks. So we're tuning ourselves, which I'll talk about a little bit in a minute. But there's bowls and there's gongs and there's chimes and a whole host of sound. There's the voice as well. So, you know, it's like what we eat. We don't all like the same food. But I'm quite partial to a tuning fork or two, or 10, or more. But I'm going to talk about these three. So these are the clear, cleanse and balance. And why did I call it clear, cleanse and balance? Because it is what it says on the tin. It clears, it cleanses and it balances. But there isn't one fork that does one and another fork that does the other. They are a beautiful synergy. That's what I'll call them. They're a really gorgeous synergy of three. Don't do that. 3 tuning forks that really hold the foundation of all the practice and all the teaching that that I do and share and have shared over the last 11 years now. So I know Jackie asked me how I got into it. It was a long bit of story, but I'll make it really short. So I was a really busy district nurse. I've been in health and healing for about 35 years and a very busy district nurse, and loved my job and just got too busy, just got so crazy busy. I don't know if we've got any nurses here with us tonight.
I think we have, actually. I think Bridget's a nurse.
Where is Bridget? Oh, hello, Bridget. I can't see you, but hello. It's, you go in your job with a passion, and there's so many patients and not enough staff, you know, and that hasn't changed actually. And I ended up with ME, so I basically became a shadow, a complete shadow of my former self. I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't walk most times. I completely shut down. All my cognitive functions just went. And anybody with ME or have had some sort of energy condition and dis-ease will understand it's like having your universal plug being pulled. It literally is like, you know, somebody comes along, takes out your plug, and you can't function. And so I was told I wouldn't get better. I was under a consultant in Truro, and he said, no, you'll never heal from this. Well, you know, you tell that somebody who was full of life that that's not going to ever happen again. I actually really hit the dark night of my soul and didn't want to be here. So actually contemplated ending my life actually at that point. And it was in that moment of complete darkness that I just called out to God, to the divine, to the one, to the presence. And I can only describe as being filled with this amazing energy. I mean, we could call it the Holy Spirit, we can call it the Great Spirit, we could call it white light, whatever we call it. But you know, from that moment, I knew that there was something else. So first of all, I found EFT, which is the tapping. People familiar with it? I love EFT, and it's brilliant because you can do it with the forks. So instead of this and all this, which is amazing, we do this. Can you see me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do this, and then we do it on
wow.
all the points, whilst thinking about the energy of what we want to release. And we do this a little bit on the course as well. So that's what made me well, was the tapping. I was so, and it was my introduction to energy medicine. I was so excited. I'd found energy medicine. I'd worked with medicine for 12 years and never knew about energy medicine. I mean, they don't teach you that in nursing at all. No. To say it's a holistic practice is not a holistic practice. And then I got actually really well from that, but there was something missing, and there was like this void. And I went to a festival in 2010, found an amazing guy called Tim Wheater. You may know him.
Tim, he's been to us 2 times.
Lovely Tim.
Or 3 actually, 3 times.
Yeah, so gorgeous Tim. He was running a course, sound therapy. He wasn't even on my radar, didn't know what it was, didn't have a clue. And you know what? I picked up his leaflet and said, oh, what's this? He said, oh, it's the course has started. You know, he's like, the course has started. You can't come to the course, it started. I was like, okay, fine, no problem. And I picked up a flute. He had a flute there, and I just started playing it. I'd never played a flute before, and he said, you can come.
Oh,
like,
just
okay.
goosed at that.
And you know what? That statement, you can come, changed my life.
Oh,
Changed my life, because we did bowls, gongs, drums, flutes, body. And one weekend we did the tuning forks. And you know, when they played the tuning fork just over my body, coming into my chakras, it was like a switch had gone on. And there is something so ancient about the knowing of this sound, of this vibration, frequency and energy, that I knew that this was what I was going to do. So I went off and I did some study, and I tell you what I did do. I got a kind of initiation in Stonehenge on 10-10-10.
Oh, wow.
In between two megaliths. And the message that came to me was, you will take the sound out to the masses. Like, that's not Debbi speak. So I know that it was something really amazing. And I kind of said, oh, no, I've just been ill and I can't do things like that. But actually, do you know what? People like, you know, gorgeous Denise and lots of other people over the years have been called to the sounds, and they're all now assisting in the spread of the sounds and the energy and the frequency and vibration. And even just little things like this for an hour, you know, it might capture something within you, just that little tiny play then that might just go, oh, you might recognize me, you might recognize my soul energy and say, oh, I recognize her. A bit like we were saying, Jackie,
yeah,
you know, there's no time and space, is there?
Absolutely.
And so I went away and researched, and it was so complex. There were so many different systems, and you use this fork and you do this fork, and then you stand on your head, and I said, no, let's just make it really easy. I want a child of 5, and believe me, they do, children.
Oh, they love it. Yeah.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think the golden elders, the one that has the number, if you like, it was a lovely 80-year-old lady who came and wanted a change.
Oh.
So you're never too old, and that's what I wanted, the simplicity of developing this system called the Clear, Cleanse and Balance. Now, 2 days ago, I was floored with a virus, and I mean I wouldn't have even been able to pick up a pencil, let alone a fork.
Really?
So
Just 2 days ago?
Yeah, Friday it hit me first, and then really, and I thought, oh, you know, pray. And then I've been using these 3 times a day, like I would medicine. So I didn't take any, I'm not against Western medicine. It's got its place, but for me, I'd rather do the other way. So I used the forks. I also used a really lovely concoction, an Ayurvedic concoction, which really helped, which I'll give you if you want the recipe, I'll give that to Jackie to share with you, because it's really good.
Yes,
please. It's really vile, but it's really good. I took that 3 times a day as well. And I woke up this morning at 6:15, full of beans, literally.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was amazing. So, you know, when you walk your walk, talk your talk, the universe knows, and it brings these beautiful people to the doorstep of whatever it might be. So yeah, yes, please, to the recipe. Right, I will definitely do that, because it is unbelievable, and it works with colds, flus, fevers. It's a detox, but it's not very nice. And do not sweeten it with anything.
I mean, when we had the Ayurvedic chap come, Dr. Sam Watts, he's amazing, and he had this champrasta jam, and he said it was vile. Do you know, it was lovely. I loved it. I ought to order some more of that, because anyway, it's an Indian, but it's marvelous, yeah. But
Yeah.
he said that was horrible, but I believe that it probably is horrible what you're talking about.
Yeah, but do you know what? I mean, honestly, 2 days, even yesterday, I was like a little, Trev, can I have a drink, please? I was like a little dying swan, little princess I was yesterday. And here I am today. I've got my barn ready. But I wanted to, I'm sorry, I'm diverting, but I wanted to show you actually how they start their life, the tuning forks. So they start their lives like this. Well, actually like that. And it'll be a long, long, long piece of aluminium. And this is a gift from the earth. So Mother Earth gives us aluminium, the process of the alchemy. And I have my tuning forks made in India. And I went over there in 2012 because I wanted to ensure that because I was sharing, somebody just asked, can you say what tuning forks? So I have tuning forks, which I'll talk about in a second. But this isn't to sell, this is to share with you. So anyway, I went over to India and met the people that make my forks, stayed with them, gave them treatments. Now they're engineers, they're very educated people that work with energy, frequency and vibration, but they weren't overly knowledgeable about healing, which is really interesting. So I showed them that the tuning forks that they make are such a healing tool worldwide. You know, they are, you know, now tuning forks is worldwide. When I started 10 years ago, 11 years ago, virtually nobody was doing it. And there was only John Billow, Jonathan Goldman, and there was one other lady that I found. Now there's lots, so it's great that the world has been
woken up to it.
Woken up to the beauty of tuning forks.
Yeah.
So I stayed there only for 10 days, but it had such a profound effect on me. And he gifted me this, and I treasure this because what it shows me is the engineering that goes in to making these devices. I'll talk about the violet in a minute because it's very pretty, isn't it?
Oh, it's stunning. I mean, that's what I'm looking at, the colour.
I'm teasing you, aren't I? So this, so I had silver for a long time. Of course, silver was all we could have, and that holds a vibration of that silver ray. Then I asked him to make me gold tuning forks, obviously not pure gold, but gold tone.
Yeah.
And they held another vibration. It was more of a softer vibration. And it's how we work with the archangels, which are these pictures behind us. That's of them. I'm teasing you again.
So beautiful.
And then 2 years ago, I asked if I could have violet tuning forks. Well, I said purple because my favorite color is purple. So it was a bit self-indulgent, really. I just said, can you make me a beautiful purple tuning fork, please? Anyway, he made me a prototype about nearly 2 years ago. And I started to feel the energy of the violet ray. So I'm not talking about the violet flame, the violet ray, which is just such a profound healing energy in its own right. It's at the top of the color spectrum before we go to ultraviolet. So it's a really high level frequency. So when we work with the sound and we're kind of working with our chakras and bringing the energy into our chakras and our auric field, then we have this chromotherapy. So it's like a sonic chromotherapy that we're doing. So, you know, we've still got the silver and we've still got the gold, and they're still really, 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 really lovely. But now we've got the violet.
Well, that is stunning, really beautiful.
They're just gorgeous, and this light is doing them a lot of favors.
It is. It honestly is.
I'm just going to see if you can see it vibrating.
Yeah.
I might just put my glasses on.
Oh,
there you go, you can see. Now, if you capture that on video, as in a video on the phone, if you go on the website, actually, you'll see, oh, you can see. Can you see them vibrating?
Yeah.
There you go, you can see them now. You can see the aura of them moving. Yeah. So when that comes into your auric field, in fact, let me just try something. If you just all sit quietly for a second, and just close your eyes. And I'm going to just bring the sounds, and I'm going to bring it to you how I would be working if I was working, like giving you a treatment. And I'm going to just focus on the heart chakra. Now, we know there's no time and space. So in my mind's eye, the energy of my matrix will come to each of you with the sound. I just bathe you in Om love. Now I'm getting hot. Obviously, don't open your eyes, but if you're feeling anything, can you just like nod or anything? Yeah. Some yes, some no. You just close your eyes and just focus on the sound. So this is distance. This is collective distant healing. Like we would say a prayer. Like we would focus on love. Just bringing the sounds to your energy, to that field. And for me, love is everything. Love brings peace. Brings light into the lives of us and all we meet. Just love. And now we're sharing Om love. Just know how loved you are. Beautiful soul. I'm just going to use my voice and say the word ah, which we use for the heart chakra. If you can join me if you wish to. We just bring this in. Blessings to your beautiful heart from my heart. And just drift back slowly and gently. When we open our hearts, this is the positive living, isn't it? When we can open our hearts and be with people, whether it's on the screen, whether we're joining voices or sounds together. I mean, Jackie, what you're doing here is just, you know, such a beautiful, beautiful service of bringing all these beautiful people together.
Oh, bless you.
Because something like this sustains people. It really sustains people for however long. When I was a district nurse, I would go into somebody and I might be the only person they see that week. So no matter what my day was or what my life was, I was always Little Miss Sunshine.
Yes.
And that's what they called me.
Lovely. I can imagine.
Good morning. And even if I had the grumpiest patient, I would say to him, now, why are you being such a grumpy bum this morning? Let's see what we can do to shift that along. So
that's so perfect for what you're doing now, Debbie, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just wonderful to connect. I've had a summer off and I think I've missed people, to be honest. It's only so much of your own company, even if you quite like it.
I'm just going to have a look if that's all right, because we've had a few comments and I know there was a question, but you might have answered it.
Oh yeah, there's 10 things in my little zone then.
Friend of Isabel, guided loving your topic. Bless you. Thank you, Lynn. Hey, work with, oh right, so Bridget does work for the NHS, but in catering.
Massively important.
Massively. High dose of vitamin C powder works amazingly well.
It really does.
Yeah. Can you recommend a brand of tuning fork to buy? Do you have a link? Exactly, yeah. Well, with those colours, with that colour. And then Bridget said that was gorgeous, felt radiated from my heart and peace.
Oh, thank you. That
was beautiful. Thank you, frequency radiating out, which it absolutely was. Thank you, beautiful voice, and saw wings coming out of my heart.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
Great, Nicola, that is. I remember that experience. I too was a district nurse. Maureen, oh Mo, hello. Then what a beautiful vibration, beautiful heart opening. I'm sure I saw a question. Have I missed that? Oh, there. Can you? Oh, that was the recommend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
So we got here from Maureen. Is there a tuner for 5D heart? So what I say is when we work with the OM, we're working multi-dimensional. We work with our 3D. Obviously, we work with the 4D because we can go out into nature. We can fork trees and, you know, and the water and food and everything. I mean, basically, you can fork anything, whether it moves or not. And that's that's the joy. They come in a little pouch and you have them in your handbag and you can just whip them out at any time. And it'll be really good. Give yourself a really good, I was going to say tuning or somebody else. I mean, I know Denise has done a lot of tuning people.
I've got to just show you this, because when you started the vibration, I thought I'd shut the door, but Monty came in.
Oh yeah.
And led down.
Do you know what? They love it. I mean,
love it.
We've got 5 rescues at the moment, but we've had 10 over the last 3 years.
Oh wow.
And we work with them at the end of life, because we have the old ones, bless them. And we also so Ollie, he's our Westie, and he's blind, diabetic. His hearing's not very good. But do you know what? He's waggy-tailed, he's happy, likes his food, has his cuddles, and he loves his forks. He has his forks every day. And so they're the ones that tell us the truth, because if Monty didn't like it, he'd be gone.
Absolutely.
I did have a lady once who said, my cats hate it, so I'm not going to use them anymore. But they do get used to it. It's you find if you've got a really, really hyper puppy or child, they'll go, get those forks away from me now, because they relax you and they bring you into a status of just yummy peace. Well, if you've got a highly overactive dog or child, they're like, no. And then actually there's this tipping point where everything calms down. So this is beautiful to work with children with ADHD, autism, Asperger's. And what it does is it calms the mind. So if you think what we were doing straight away when I just played the on and just asked you to tune in, I know you're listening to me and probably thinking, but if you just close your eyes just for a second and go into the mind monkey and just see if it's a little bit quieter. Is it a little bit quieter, I wonder? Just a little bit, even if it's just 10% or 20%.
Oh,
do you know what that does? Let me just shut the door. I've got barky dogs. What that does, and it gives you room in here to find your own answers and solutions. A little bit like when I had the ME and I was in such a fog. I had no thoughts. I had such fog head. And when I started the tapping, I got more room. And I believe that room allowed the divine presence, God, whatever your word for the divine is, to work with me and steer me to Tim.
Yeah.
And then steer me to the forks. And then steer me for 11 years of research, because I've done a lot of my own research, and it works with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So my nursing came into play. Excuse me. So the blood pressure lessens, and if it's low, it comes up. The pulse, if it's low, it comes up. If it's high, it comes down. The respiration, so the breathing softens, like you were, I was inviting you to just like breathe with the sounds earlier. And that's called homeostasis. So the body does what it needs to do. So I know Denise, when she did her case studies, phenomenal results. You know, we work with case studies 1, 3, or 6. So lucky people have either 1 session, 3 sessions, or 6 sessions.
Wow.
And the difference, I don't know if you want to pop on, Denise, and just unmute you and just sort of say, because I'm saying it, but
No, I fully endorse everything that Debbie's said. My case studies were astounding. astounded. Rather, people just had no idea about the tuning forks particularly. They hadn't been introduced to them before, and loads of my friends have bought them now. It's just it's kind of a bit of a cult thing now, because it's just so easy to do. It's very simple, but it has the most beneficial effects. It's just absolutely fantastic modality to work with, and most importantly, it has results. That's the main thing, especially when I've had a chance to work with somebody for over 6 sessions. I won't go into detail, obviously, because that's personal to those people, but the difference from the start to the finish and continuing. That's what I like about it as well. It's continuing. It's not just bringing somebody up to a stage and then just dropping them. It actually gets them to a stage where they start to care for themselves anyway, and they look after themselves anyway. It changes mindsets. It's quite phenomenal. So as well as the physical aspects, you also have the mental and the emotional aspects as well. And quite clearly you tap into the spiritual when you're working with the forks. Wonderful modality.
And you work on yourself every day, Denise?
Yes, I do indeed. Yeah, I've got the clear, cleanse and balance. That's the thing that we use the most. But there's lots of other sets that Debbi has. Some really quite interesting ones, the Atlantis ones and the Archangel ones and things like that. So there's lots of different frequencies you can work on, because clearly the body, responds to all sorts of different frequencies as well. So there's lots of other things you can do. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad I found her, and I found Debbi through an animal healing contact of mine, and Debbi was speaking at the World Animal Energy Conference in Manchester a few years ago. So that's how I came to find her and her tuning forks, and I was absolutely thrilled. Yeah, really wonderful. Anyway, I'm sorry to take over there.
No,
Debbi.
that's lovely. Thank you.
No, you carry on. I love all that. So that's the thing. It's within 5 days, people can learn how to fork themselves. First and foremost, people come and they say, "Oh, I want to be a therapist. I'm going to collect another qualification." And what they don't realise is that when they work with themselves, just the expanse of their mind, their body, their spirit, and their soul, and they realized that by doing their sounds every day, so like I was using the sounds as medicine, just this last couple of days, I literally was a limp rag, and today I've been moving furniture and all sorts of things because I used it as medicine. And it's really, over the last 11 years, it's helped me with so many things, because I'm a human body. And I'm quite a busy human body, and working with the Ayurvedic medicine, I've realized my patterning. So it's great to know that there's so many combinations of things, and what we have is the sounds will work with Reiki, it will work with massage, trigger point, bowing, EFT, counseling. We've got counselors, psychotherapists. If with the psychotherapists and the counselors, what they do is they ask their clients to pick 3 forks. Then they do a little talking session, and the forks that the client has chosen, the meaning of the forks, the energy vibration, absolutely correlates and is alignment with what they're going through, and then they receive a healing. So instead of that being a pattern, the sounds, as I said earlier, it brings it to homeostasis. So it allows the body to do what it needs to do with it. We never say we can heal, because obviously we're not allowed to do that. But what we do is we bring this to the auric field and to the chakras. A lot of the listening, we do a lot of listening. So I'll just briefly say about this. So you're listening, and the ears, the nerves to the ears will take it through the vagus nerve all the way into the body. The vagus nerve is a nerve that innervates to every single organ of the body. I'm sort of looking here to see if I can find it for you. And it, you know, when you want to find something, I didn't think I was going to show you this, but I will. This is a manual, by the way, that I wrote.
Good grief.
I know. It was it's a labor of 11 years. There we go. There we are. So just a little bit of science. Your ears here. This is your vagus nerve.
Can't hear you very well now, Debbie.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So the vagus nerve innervates to every organ. Then you have your cells, which are part of every organ. Cells, molecules, atoms. So whatever you listen to affects your atomic makeup and your space. Because actually, there's a little nucleus here, and this is all the atoms going all around. So whatever you hear, and this is about your self-speak as well. You know, what you say to yourself and what happens with the sounds. You know, we were saying about space. So your mind is a little bit softer, a bit more kinder, a bit more compassionate than it may have been nearly an hour ago. I can't believe I've been yapping for an hour. I could probably yap for 10 hours. Oh, I can. Yes, I can do that. But that's what we have. We have space. Space allows compassion. It allows kindness to ourselves, first and foremost. And the other thing, these are really good for insomnia. So literally just listening. So you can be laying in bed. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I've got to do this tomorrow. Oh, I've got this, like I'm on replay. And literally within 5 minutes of listening. And what you do is you listen all the way out to the last atom of sound. It's almost that your ears are going, and then you strike again, and you listen all the way out to the end. So it's an ear exercise as well. But before you know it, you end up in the middle of the night with the fork stuck to your face.
But that's brilliant, isn't it? You
wake up. Well, I tell you, I have three dogs on my bed, and I was sort of searching for the in the middle of the night because I've been using it, and then the dogs woke me up because they were barking, and I was like, oh, just let me drift off. And it was kind of all like actually in the middle of the bed. So yeah.
Wonderful.
They sleep really well. The dogs like the sounds, and the cats. Oh, I gotta pay you the other one. Oh no, let me tell you about this one. Getting excited now. This is the one with weights. This is called weighted on. And why is it called weighted on? Because it's got weights on. Maureen, you've got a lovely weighted on as well. Let me play this and see if you get what we call sympathetic resonance. See if put it to your ear. Any of you that's got forks. So don't strike your fork. See if my fork activates your fork. So bring your fork to your ear and see if there's like a little buzz. We try this when we do in person. Can't wait to do the in-person training again. But when we do the in-person, we do this, and we all have our on. They do this, and I do this. And then what you find is there's a tiny, tiny buzz, and that's called sympathetic resonance. That's why we're all here tonight, because our frequency brought us together.
Oh, amazing! I love that.
Ta-da!
I'm going to just tell you, I was listening. Have you heard of David Hulse?
Yes.
Yes, I listened.
Fork in the road.
That's it. Yeah, fork in the road. And I was listening to something of his yesterday, and he talked about Alice Bailey.
Yes.
And she said that through the theme of sound, the transformation which will establish a new civilization, a new race where we're supposed to be with no limitations.
There we have it. Alice Bailey, all those years ago.
Exactly. How phenomenal was that? That she would know that. Sound is so important to us, isn't it?
Do you know, it's absolutely everything, because it's not about sound. It's about the energy, vibration, and frequency. So Einstein said, and I love this quote, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changed from one form to another form. So I'll say that again. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only changed from one form to another form. It's quite deep, but when you start thinking, your mindset can change so much. Shall I just look at these questions? Because I know I've got till like about 8:15, haven't I?
Oh, lovely. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
what do you want?
So where is Debbie based? It's Cornwall.
I'm in Cornwall. I'm just across the Tamar Bridge. That's where I am. We worked really, really hard, me and my Trev. We've been married for 30 years now. That's his cotton socks. And been married for 30 years. And I realised a dream 5 years ago to buy this retreat. So we've got a little retreat place. And it's been really sad because we've had not very many people here, obviously. But next year now, we're going to open up again, do the courses here. We've changed what I call Debbi Den. And it's just this really welcoming. If you're all on Facebook, I don't know if you are, but please add me. I'd love to touch base. You might want to unfollow me because I do put quite a bit on.
No, it's never too much, and it's always lovely, really.
Oh, bless you.
If it's about the dogs or the artwork it's all so lovely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just put on what I feel. And anyway, it's time for it to have life again. And so yeah, I'm going to open up for in-person courses next year. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Right, back to the on.
Can I just say, we've got a question there. Can it help with depression? I'm sure it does, but is there a particular protocol? A friend's son is really struggling.
Yeah, so if you think about how depression, I'm sure most people will have had some feeling of either low mood or depression in their life. And what happens is you get this full head, don't you? There's this full mind where every thought is a discordant thought. What we have is, as I say, when we were listening, we are making space. So even if this young, is it a young man?
Yes, young.
Yeah, young man. So even if he's just listening, he's going to start calming the brain waves. So the beta waves, really active, thinking. And then we come down to alpha, which is where we probably are all at right now. And then we come into theta. So Denise will attest to this. So when we're doing the training, we sit all together and we tune, we listen. And then we're all kind of just relaxed and gentle. And then we kind of do this pirate eye. You know, who's listening, who's watching, who's seeing. And then we do, because we're in this relaxed place. If people are here, they generally fall asleep. And they've got the fork wherever it is on the chakra, because we bring in the sounds, rotate the sounds into the chakra. And then they've got their arm up and they have these micro sleeps. It's when the brain actually goes into theta. Now that is when the greatest healing occurs. And that doesn't come from Debbie Walker. That comes from many, many years of research. Theta brainwaves is when the biggest healing occurs. Healthy genes are switched on and unhealthy genes are switched off. Epigenetics. So there's so much to this. This is all on my website, by the way. I've got a very generous website with lots and lots and lots of information. Lots of free videos, and there's that link up in the top, free music.
That's Suara Sound or something, isn't it? It's on
Suara, so it's SUARA, sounds.com. I've got 2 websites. So suarasounds.com has got the free download, the music, and the other one has got all the information, including the studies and the pictures, and there's some pictures of wounds. So my district nursing role was a wound specialist. I've got a first-class honours degree in tissue viability, and the 528, so this little one here, is the one we use for wound healing. And there are lots of beautiful, well, I think they're beautiful wounds on the website. And if you think that's what happens on the outside, you can really understand what happens on the inside with the cells. A cell is a cell is a cell. So it comes into resonance. So I would love to get this into leg ulcer clinics, because that's what I used to run, was leg ulcer clinics.
Oh, wow.
And you don't even need to take off the bandages. You can just do it over. Because when we do the treatments, we kind of, people have got their clothes on, they've got blankies over them. But actually, I felt you, didn't I? And you, hopefully you felt me, even if it was just for a brief moment when I was doing the tuning with you, with the with the heart, and then the voice. I'm aware that I some questiones. Can you use the forks alongside? Yes, EFT or oh yes, Joyce, amazing question. So again, that's one of the things we do, you know, in the 5 days, is we work with our chakras, and we work with Ho'oponopono. So I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Whilst we're tuning ourselves, each chakra.
Ho'oponopono, did you just say?
Ho'oponopono.
That's what I do, Ho'oponopono.
Oh, do you do Ho'oponopono?
Yes, yes. And also with EFT, because that's perfect. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you.
Yeah, so you could do it with the weighted. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. There's so many ways. I have got a YouTube channel with lots of lovely videos, and I think there's one video about EFT on there. Oh, looks like an amazing book. Yes, it's a big labor of love. Oh, good question. If someone is deaf, does the vibration frequency still work? Yes, yes, yes. Who asked me that? Jeanette. So yes, Jeanette, what we say is take the hearing aids out if they've got them on, and then get them to listen, and we do the treatment. And you put the hearing aids back in, and generally they've got to turn the hearing aids down. We have had people gain their hearing back, a percentage of their hearing back. But again, this is every day. And that's been incredible. I was sent the actual diagrams of a hearing test. So that was amazing.
Wow. And I know that's not a question there, but does it help with sinus?
Yes, because obviously this is all cavities, isn't it? Sinuses are big cavities.
Yeah.
And they're full of kind of stuff. So by working around the sinuses, it's not unusual when we've been in person doing the sounds and we're all together sounding, that people actually have pouring out of their nubbies, because all the sinus mucus is like got rid of.
That's got to be good for babies, you know, then, because I remember someone telling me to put the baby over my lap and just tap gently on his back, you know, if he was stuffed up with a cold or anything, and that would let him pour with, you know, get rid of it all.
You can also do very soft on the baby's back or anyone's back. So these can be used for the joints, trigger points, trigger point therapy.
Holding that end towards you, not, yeah.
Yeah, so the ball end.
Oh, right.
So I asked my guys to make the ball ends for me because the balls come off.
Oh.
And it's kind of a bit harsh. It can be a bit harsh on skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so people with arthritis can also do the forks as well. So I'm just popping them back on, and they come in different colours. But I wanted to show you this one, the thymus. So just these last few days, I had lavender oil, pure lavender oil from the field across the way. He's got a lavender farm there. And I put that on my thymus gland and I just stemmed. So I didn't do any of the healing, around we went around the chakras because, I was really struggling with tight chest. And what I did was I just stemmed and stemmed and stemmed for about an hour while I was watching a lovely movie. And, well, what can I say? I'm living proof now that there's no virus in me now.
Amazing.
Whatever that virus, it wasn't the virus, it was a virus of some description.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm just
yeah, you carry on because I know there's more comments there.
It's lovely comments, thank you so much. Is there a set we can get, Debbie? I missed the beginning too. Yeah, so the clear cleanse and balance is the set. Comes with a little booklet, not that great big manual, that's for the course people. Tracy Harris, are you studying with me next week?
Hi Debbie, yes I am.
I thought so. Hello, you know what you're coming to get now. Hello, darling.
Hi, I just thought I'd have a sneak preview.
Brilliant.
Oh, phew. Oh, you're in for a lovely, lovely week. Yes, you are. Yummy, yummy. Nice to see you.
Thank you, and you.
So yes, Clear Cleanse and Balance, little book, it's downstairs, but it's called How to Fork Yourself. And then the CD and DVDs, blah. Am I doing in-person healing sessions? At the moment, I'm not. I do distance healing sessions, which are incredible still, but not in person at the moment. But please get in touch with me, Nicola. Yeah, Nicola.
And Fiona's saying, does tuning forks work with crystal healing or colour healing?
Yes. So this is the beautiful bridge that the vibration does. So I've got, what have I got here? Selenite. And I can stem the crystal. And this is, I've got a great big chunk here, but you can have, I've got little ones here as well. Little dinky ones. There we go.
Beautiful.
So I can stem these, I can bring it to my body. I like my thymus because obviously it's my immune house. And there I am stemming the crystal. I don't know if you can't see, I'll put it up a bit. Stemming the crystal. If you don't go out into the full moon, you can actually cleanse your crystals with the or the 528 using clockwise motion. So you can put a grid on someone and then do the forks around the auric field and up through the, so you've got like a double vibration. But what I will say is whatever vibration the crystal holds, it will be amplified quite significantly by the vibrations of the forks.
Have you read that one? My father has Alzheimer's and hears music in his head all the time, which he finds very distressing.
Okay.
Will it help with that?
So sorry, there's lots more questions. My father has, and his music is. So, okay, that's a really interesting one. So it's like where this memory of the music is. So what I would suggest is with the Alzheimer's, he's out of tune. You know, you go into a shop and there's a radio playing, and for goodness sake, what they do is they don't have it tuned in, and it's like,
yeah.
So if you think about it coming into your ears, by the time you've done your shopping and you go out of that shop, you are really feeling quite aggressive, because you think about it coming in, goes into your nerves. So the thing with Alzheimer's and dementia is to keep a very peaceful life as much as possible. If he's got that music in his head that he's finding distressing, then that will affect his behavior as well. So by bringing the on, or playing him the still point, which you can get for free, then that actually, we've had some really good results with Alzheimer's and dementia, especially with playing the CD. You just put the CD on loop. It just helps. We're not really going to get a chance to do the CD tonight.
I know,
tonight.
yeah, because I was thinking that on the time.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, it's because you can all get it for free anyway. It's on YouTube, it's on there, and you know, you can all have it. But I would like to get these questions if I can, because obviously I don't
Could
want
it help with nerve damage from tooth extraction? Had this for many, many years.
Right, where are we? Yes, so I mean, obviously I can't say what it will do for you. That's first and foremost. What I can say is your body will decide on a homeostasis level what it wants to heal. And we have known nerves to repair themselves. I've had experience of this, quite a big experience of healing myself from something quite major that remains private, but I've healed myself from something big to do with nerves. Again, that is at least two times a day. That's what I use it for. So, I mean, I know you had another question there, Claire, as well. So message me, you know, you can add me as a friend and then message me, or message me anyway, and I can do my best to answer you. Are you striking the tuner first, then place? Yes. So you strike the weights, then you do it onto the crystals. Now, those of you that are healers, spiritual healers, you can align and attune your hands. So even actually by using the tuning forks, you're amplifying your healing gifts by holding the fork, and you're finding that the vibration, the sacred vibration, is going into your hand chakras. We also work with feet chakras, we work with knee chakras. And on the course, we're going to be working with, we actually work with 9 chakras. So, which is obviously the navel and the higher heart, which a lot of people leave out. What else have we got here? Can it be used with Reiki? Yes, it's a beautiful combination with Reiki.
Can I ask how much the 3 are, Debbie?
Yes, so basically with these 3 and the book, and it comes with a DVD and 3 CDs, it's 155.
Lovely.
So literally, you've got tools for life. So the price of 3 sessions, which I think most sessions now are about £50 odd.
Yeah.
You've got tools for life. You know, they have a lifetime guarantee. My original set is 11 years old, and it is still as good now as it was back then. What you'll find on my thing is that I've sold out, but I've just had a delivery today. just in time. But please message me, and you know, I will really love to connect to you if you want to do more training with me this year or next year. This year is online in December. I just put the dates, found the date today, and then next year will be in person in March.
Wonderful.
But I will, you know, I will put those dates out pretty soon. I've been having the summer off, so I've been enjoying myself.
Well, good. Yeah, absolutely. It's a blessing, isn't it? Really, sometimes.
Have I answered everybody else? Have they?
If we've missed anything, please unmute and ask. Please could you send the link? I'm struggling to find where to buy it online. Thank you. I think back along, Adrian was good enough to put the link up.
Oh, I tell you what, somebody said, are there any conditions we should be aware of when using the forks? Well, yeah. Using it with a pacemaker, it's not out, but it's actually just being really mindful that you're not going to be stemming around the chest. But what we do is we work away from the field, and we've had no problems at all over this last 11 years. The same with an internal defib. In fact, I've had people train with me with pacemakers and internal defibs. If we work with people with cancer, what we do is we are only working for relaxation and to relieve the mind, the full mind that comes with. My husband was diagnosed with cancer last year. So we had quite a full journey, a full-on journey. He's fine now. He had a prostate cancer, and he had sound waves. Oh. Sound waves and light that got rid of the cancer. And he's doing really, really well. So I understand being a carer for someone with cancer. And also I understand the anxiety and the journey. And my forks were my best friend. And he used the forks 3 times a day. He actually used the little one, because that is for when it becomes physical in the body. This is generally emotion, the on. And when the emotion has created a dis-ease, we go to the 528. But they work in synergy, they work in tandem.
Beautiful.
So I'll just check there's no other.
And are all your sets lilac, that you send now? Like...
Yeah, that's what I do now, because the thing is yes, there are other, there's gold and there's silver, but the energies are such right now that we need this the vibrations that this can combine.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what I find, it's like, I don't want to call that word fast track, but it is a faster way of bringing the vibrations and cutting through all the dross.
Yeah.
I believe if I hadn't had the understanding of the Ayurvedic tea, the tuning forks, the mindset, and the aromatherapy oils, I could have created a virus of another description within my body. Because I was literally really, really poorly a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm not.
Glad. Yeah, so glad you're all right now. So I think we're going to sort of come to an end there.
Oh, Maureen's just got her finger.
I've just got my finger up.
Oh, yeah, please ask.
Debbi, sorry. Is it important also to state the intention with the tuning fork of what you're trying to do?
Perfect question. Yes.
Okay.
Because when you are of pure intent, what I say to people is when they're working with the forks, if you're working with somebody, you're not thinking, oh, I need to go to Tesco's and do my shopping, and oh, goodness me, I've got to go and do la la la. You wouldn't anyway, because that you're not that sort of person, and we are, in this world, we aren't that sort of person in this healing world. However, it is important to have that pureness in the mindset. That's why when I started this evening, I thought, it doesn't matter what's going on, wherever we are in the country, our little pockets at home, let's just take some time. Let's just take some 15 minutes out of our time to calm. And we did that twice. We did that. So the pure intent was there with all of us. So it is a great question. However, you don't have to believe in the sounds, as in the recipient, for the sounds to work.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, thank you, everybody, for your lovely comments.
Did you want to say something, Sandra?
That was my question about, are there any conditions that we should be wary of?
Yeah, so
So Debbie's answered that. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
and epilepsy as well. So controlled epilepsy is fine, or anything that's controlled. So you think about medicine, they use it for ultrasound, they use it for babies, they use it in a TENS machine, they're using sound waves in an MRI machine. So sound waves are being used everywhere. This is just a little tuning fork with a sine wave that actually packs a beautiful healing experience.
Honestly, really enjoyed this evening, Debbie. Thank you so much.
It's been wonderful. So, Patricia, you've just placed your order. What, with me? With me, my lovely? Oh, did I have some available? Did I have some available? Did I? Or maybe I took off that you can buy them then. You little cheeky monkey. Yeah, because I've only got so many coming. Oh, Tracy,
sure
yeah, we're going to have a lovely time, my love.
I'll make sure Debbie's information comes out, hopefully, if Tom can do that, with the recording tomorrow. It usually doesn't come out till the afternoon, but the recording will be sent to everyone tomorrow afternoon. And so hopefully we'll get Debbie's, the Ayurvedic, whatever you said about, and Debbie's website on there. So
the Ayurvedic, you go like that. I know it's doing me good, but I really don't want to drink it.
Brilliant.
Everybody should.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you,
Blessings
everyone.
to you all.
Thank you, everyone that's joined tonight. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
And I'm sure I'll see some of you again.
You will, without a doubt. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Lots of
Brilliant,
love.
Debbie. Thank
Oh,
you.
bye.
Bye. Thank you, Jackie. Bye,
Thank
darling.
you. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Denise.
Bye, Denise.
Bye.